Hello, I hope you're seeing me. Let me see. My table is absolutely crazy. But I'm gonna be on idiomas. Should I reduce this thing? I really ought to reduce it. Let me see if I have the time. Because I'm supposed to be. Do I think I have that time? Nah, you guys got to manage this way. Anyway, hopefully you're able to hear me. I'm going to be on AIT, Jomas, what do you call this program now? Democracy Today. So, just trying to, it's almost time, 7:30 is when I'm supposed to do that. Yep, that's my name. Yep, join. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do, be discussing the campaign things, campaign funding. You know, we did presentation of the campaign that we did for Mr. Peter Obi, the fundraising that we did. So that's basically...
We are still waiting to get the official letter of the withdrawal. But let's quickly go to the issues of the PDP in Edo State shortly before we delve into Labour Party matters. And
okay.
I have a lawyer.
So it's after she's done with that, I'm sure that she's going to come to me to discuss this. So hello everyone. I might not be able to see your questions because it's a bit far away, but we're going to discuss all of this probably.
But there's an issue with the PDP. As it seems now, some of their...
Okay, so what I'm trying to do is to reduce their own volume since they've not gotten to the place where they are coming on my own matter. They are continuing with their matter. So the campaign accounts, the summary of it is out there, what we did. I got a call earlier today having a journalist who said to me, okay, yeah, you said you spent a certain amount on campaign materials. So yeah, what did you do? What are the campaign materials? I mean, it's just a blank one. I just read out the figures to him and the total and everything. I say, well, for me, the beauty about this whole campaign and why it's so easy in terms of to account for every kobo, every dime that went on was the fact that every money had a trail. It came into the bank, it left the bank to whoever it was. There was nothing like, oh, certain monies didn't get to the bank, or they went through somebody, or somebody collected, so, okay, let me go. Nah, there was nothing like that. So, and every bank withdrawal had to come with request, had to get approval of the request, and there are two sets of like approval. First of all, the procurement team itself will sit down and put together what they want. The team do everything, bring it in, send it to the candidate. The candidate sees it, approves it, then it goes to the signatories, and they also look at it and approve it. And then it was sort of like, okay, no, the signatories, sorry, not the other way. The signatories check it, see that it's something that it's okay and should be done. So they approve it, and then they send it to the candidate for the overall approval. And so when that happens, then the signatories, then 2 out of the 3 signatories then sign for the thing to be done, and it was always directly to whoever was being dealt, business was being done with. We didn't use any third parties. So it's always a situation of, oh, somebody will help us buy these things from here, or no, it was directly, either you were the one that was directly selling the product, or you were the one that was directly manufacturing, doing the product. Either you were printing or the, and we did, and the thing we did for us, we're very cheap, honestly. So we didn't have a lot of money. Like normally campaign materials, you probably would spend billions on campaign material only. We didn't have that kind of money. So what we did was, as much as possible, we did the little things that will make a whole lot of impact. So we did the little things that will make more impact and will go a long way. So I give you an example. For example, the phone stickers that you saw, oh my goodness, those things were so amazing. And it was quite, what was the price here? I'm using the phones, and then the prices are on the phones. I think those phone stickers were, they like 5 naira or something like that. So they were very cheap, and we could do more numbers. So that was what we did: phone stickers, keke stickers, LP flags. These are some of the things that we all did. And so that gave us more sort of like volume. So we needed things that will have them, out there, that people can easily see. It was towards the end that we actually did posters, because posters was a big expensive, and sometimes people, they will just go and be removing those posters. So we did them towards the very end, when we did about, was it 250,000 posters that we then had to share all over the country and get them pasted and everything, so that people are seeing those things to remind them. Even when it came to the electronic media, we couldn't do TVs. Honestly, TVs were, of course, you know what it is to do a TV program. It would be very expensive and all of that. So we couldn't afford that, the money that we had. So we did radio, and we knew there were a lot of people. We needed to reach grassroots people. We needed to reach market women, market men, artisans, and all of that. And so we focused more attention on doing that. Let me see if they are calling my name.
In the platform, then the PDP needs to be afraid in Edo, because it is just like a similar thing. A Congress rejected by a few, and that led to the challenge that the PDP got in Plateau State.
I don't know what's happening. I don't think I've seen this before. Maybe. So I tried to, when you put your phone,
dismissed by the court.
The video, I'll put it a bit. I'm not seeing my face. I wanted to see how far my face was going, and so all of that. So yeah, so those are the things that we did. And then with radio, so we focus more on radio. When you don't have money, you have to think smart. You don't have stupendous amount of money that you can spend anyhow and be throwing out there. So we just needed to do, and those are the things that we really did. And I think maybe some people thought that we had much more than we had, and the kind of things that we were doing. But hey, yeah, and I'm so proud of the team. Awesome team. It's really great. It's really amazing. They really did so well, and people sacrificed, people put in the effort. We didn't have to pay anybody, and that's the beauty of it. A lot of people, were part of the different teams, and we didn't need to pay anybody. We didn't need to give anybody anything. They were just doing it pro bono. So probably if we're to quantify the sacrifice of paying all those people, we would have spent a whole lot more, but we didn't, spend that whole lot more, because people were willing to sacrifice their time. And that's why where Peter Abi was talking about that, we got a lot of things in kind. There were people who donated in kind. There were people who donated t-shirts. There were people who donated face caps. Yeah, I remember there were people who donated face cap. So different things, so different parts of the country. There were people who were doing things, and they were concentrating on the northern part of the country. Some people were concentrating on the middle belt. Some people were concentrating on different parts of the country. But at the end of the day, that's what has come together, to give us, the amazing thing that we saw, honestly. For me, I always say the 2023 election was a revolution that happened in Nigeria. People that had never voted before came out to vote. The youth were very much invested and interested in the whole electoral process. I don't know whether you guys are hearing me, but let me do a bit of check. And then I don't know whether there are any questions. Please, are you hearing me? Let me know, because I've not seen any chat. Yeah, hopefully you guys are hearing me. I haven't seen, so I'm like, please, if you're hearing me, can you give me like a thumbs up or something? Let me know that you're okay. I see something moving. Okay, yes, you're good. Okay, thank you so much. Is that Chike? Yeah, Chike Odobi. Thank you so much. And also Chukumi Antonio. Okay, yeah, fantastic. So now I know I'm not speaking to myself, because it's a bit far away. If I'm not wearing my glasses, I really can't see very well. And so it's just this thing. But anyway, that's basically that's basically it. So we had to be very, we have to be very, how do I put it now, very prudent with the way we spent our monies. We didn't have much, and then we needed to, every kobo we had to squeeze something out. If we can squeeze 10 campaign materials out of 1 naira, we will squeeze, we squeeze it out, and not just say, oh, let's just go, just go for 10. Like I mentioned, there are some of you that listen to the space that I did yesterday, and I also put it out on YouTube. One of the things I talked about was that, look, when you're spending your own money, you can afford to do it anyhow you want. You don't care. I can go sometimes. For me personally, I hardly ask for prices. That's why I enter places that I know that I will afford the prices. I hardly check prices for things. Like there was a day the other day I went to shop. I think it was in Aberdeen, and I had bought a box. I was going to London on a quick trip, and so I just, let me just carry a small. I needed a very small traveling bag, so I picked it. And so you know, when you finish picking the things, apparently the people, the salesperson was supposed to have put a kind of sticker so that they would know that I've paid for it, but she didn't put it. She was a Nigerian, and she saw me, she was excited, we took pictures and all of that. I think she sort of like forgot to put that. So when I was going out, the security person stopped me, the black one, were like, oh, I was like, well, I paid. And we're looking, was like, how much did you pay for it? I said, I don't know what the cost is. I just saw a bag that I liked, and I picked it up. I went to the till. They finished ringing up everything. I gave them my card and I left. So then we're now looking for the receipt. I gave him the receipt. He thought it wasn't the one. Later, sha. Then one time it was like, oh, you can go. I said, no, okay, I'm not going. You must verify, so that you're not thinking that, oh, you just allow me to go. Maybe that bag, she carried it. I'm like, nah. But we sorted it out anyway. Why am I saying this? So I'm saying because that was my own private money. That was my own personal money. I could do with it whatever I wanted to do with it, and it doesn't matter. But the moment it becomes public money, even if it's 1 kobo, I can't behave in such a reckless manner in the way I use my own private money to do that. So I must ask, I must go around, I must find out which one will give me the most value, the most, use of the money. And that was what we did with the campaign, with the campaign team. And it was really so awesome seeing people coming together, passionately working so well, so many of them. So we had many groups. We have the procurement group, we have the legal group, legal team. We had a time when some obedience were arrested. The legal team had to go in and do some work to get them on bail and all of that, the logistics and everything. We had media team, we had technical team, right? I think there were like about 8 situation. No, was that strategy team? There were so many things that people were in, and people were doing so many things. Let me see. Oh, okay, she hadn't come back to me. I thought she was coming.
Quickly just tell you that the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has presented certificate of return to the winner of Jalingo, Yora, and Zing Federal Constituency of Taraba State.
Okay, she's still not back to me. And so people did great. They did amazing. It's unbelievable. Honestly, when I just look at, that's how when I see people say, oh, I'm never going to do this again. The Tinubu rigged the election, so they felt like it failed. No, it was such a win. Yes, the election was rigged. Finally, we didn't get the end result right. But there are so many wins that happened. The win of people coming together, people that ordinarily will not sit together on the same table. They were sitting together on the same table and they were working. People that have been fighting for years, Peter Obi brought them together. They were now talking, they were now working together, they were doing things together and just working towards that one goal, which is what is good for Nigeria, a new Nigeria that is possible. And so for me, that's such a win that we must never neglect, and we must never forget to understand the magnitude of that whole win. I hope you're still able to hear me. There was a call that was coming in. I interrupted it. I don't know why. They're asking me to unmute, so I'll go ahead and unmute.
right, we'll just go straight to issues with Labour Party. We'll begin our conversation. Aisha Yusuf is already with us. I told you she'll be joining us. Thank you so much for joining us. Aisha is a woman activist who is one of those behind the Bring Back Our Girls campaign, active member of the Obi Dati Campaign Council in the 2023 presidential election. Aisha, thank you for joining us on the program tonight.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm not a member of the PCC, the Presidential Campaign Council, and I'm not a member of Labour Party, just for me to put the record straight.
But you were active in their activities during the election?
Yeah. I worked with Mr. Peter Obi. I was also part of his fundraising team.
Oh, okay, that's good. So I saw you alongside Mr. Peter Obi trying to explain the fund because of the so much allegation of fraud within the Labour Party. Can you explain further for us? Because you broke down how funds came, how you mobilized funds, and what you used those funds for. So what can you tell us now and Nigerians so as to say, yes, according to, let me use your word, we used our funds judiciously. What can you tell us?
Okay, so thank you so much for having me. So first of all, we were not explaining our funds. What we did was to give a public account of the funds that we had received from citizens. And it's quite different from the Labour Party account issue that it's going on. This is well separate. Remember, Mr. Peter Obi had set up a campaign fund where we asked and we solicited from the public to make donations to the account. And the public did do that, and so they donated to the account, and it was important and what's the word I'm looking for? It was, let me use it was a must, if I may just use that simple word, for us to go back and tell the public this is what we had done with the money that they had given to us. We're supposed to have done it much earlier, immediately after the Supreme Court judgment, but unfortunately we just couldn't find the time to sit down and actually get it done until just yesterday that we finally did that.
But aren't you surprised that it is coinciding with what is going on? I know that you're not a member of the Labour Party, but a lot of persons will tie you to Labour Party because of your active role during campaigns before the election. So don't you think that this is coming too close, and a lot of persons are already tying it to what is going on?
No, absolutely not. There's nothing, whether it's too close, there are two different things that it happened at this time. Like I did tell you earlier, we're supposed to have done this immediately after the Supreme Court. That was in November. But I can tell you that Mr. Peter Obi also himself wanted to have more of like a physical. I was good with, like, let's just do something online and put it out there. But he wanted a situation where journalists would be around and then we'll be sitting down there and they can, ask all the questions that need to be asked. Since it's a statement of account, scrutinize it and all of that. And I happen not to have been in the country. I was, even during the Supreme Court judgment, I wasn't in the country. I came back mid-January, and it was... I had exams till February before I was free. He too had a lot of journeys, travels, and you see Mr. Peter Obi is always all over the country and the continent itself and the world. And so it took time for us to be able to be together at a place to do that. And this was the best time that we had. And it so happens that a Labour Party had their own issue. Yes, of course, I am one person that no matter where I find myself in, of course, people will always associate it. I'm always visible. I'm not someone that, like a wallpaper that it's hidden that you can't see. So I'm used to people always thinking I'm always part of one thing or the other, even when I'm not. So I just try to correct them and say that's not the case. I've never been a member of the PCC. I've not been a member of the Labour Party, but of course I'm a strong supporter of Mr. Peter Obi.
Okay. Okay. Tell us how you raised the fund for the election, and also tell us how you spent the fund that you raised. Because if we go by what the law says, there's a certain amount of money that can be use for campaign.
Yeah.
Yes. So can you just tell us?
Yeah, so what we did was to solicit for funds. So we did like crowdfunding and call on Nigerians to say to them, look, we need monies for campaign materials, need money for election, and we needed them to donate. We literally was like telling people, look, we need to put our monies where our mouths are. For us as a team, one of the things that we're very big on was to let people understand that the situation whereby in Nigeria we just sit down and we feel that candidates are the ones that will use their own personal monies to always run for office is the reason why we have a lot of people those who have looted our country dry continue to perpetuate themselves or their stooges in office, and that we needed to change that. So we as citizens, we needed to donate to our own candidates, and there were people who generously donated. Some people did. I think we got something like even 50 naira or 100 naira, some thousand, some like millions and stuff like that. So people did donate according to what they had, and so we had that particular donation. And I can tell you that from the citizens, we were able to get 595,976,994 naira, and then the candidate himself, brought in 800 million naira when we're looking at the monies that we're going to use to pay a polling unit agent. So these were also the contribution that he had brought in.
Okay, so that means even young children and the young people who were interested in donating as low as 50 naira to support the election of the Labour Party candidate Peter Obi.
Absolutely.
So how did that make you feel?
Well, it made us actually excited, and surprisingly, those little amount of money, spoke volume. You had people donating, 100 naira, 500, 50 naira, 200 naira, and it's like, if these were people who are not thinking that they needed to have big money for them to donate to the campaign. And imagine if 1 million people donate 50 naira, that would be 50 million naira instantly that will be raised. And it's something that it's so easy that we could do. That's money you can just use to buy sweets, or maybe just use to buy maybe some snacks, and you say, okay, no, I'm not going to use that, let me put it into someone that will be able to run and give us a Nigeria that it's possible, a new Nigeria, a great country. And so for us it was really quite how do I put it, really emotional, and so we were really elated about them.
Can we have a future where this kind of accountability will be seen, especially amongst our leaders who are vying to become leaders for the country tomorrow? Because what we are experiencing today in Nigeria is not too a comfortable one for some persons in the country. Do you think Nigeria can outgrow this?
Absolutely.
People thinking like you're thinking.
Absolutely. Yesterday, I after the campaign and everything, and on social media there were people who were asking questions, and some were like they tried to be mischievous. I'm like, no, these things are supposed to be scrutinized. And I think one of the biggest problem we had, and like I talked about yesterday, is the fact that being brought up as little children, we were told not to ask questions. So we have a culture of when people ask questions, is looked upon as being disrespectful. When people ask for accountability, it's looked upon as being disrespectful. So a lot of people grew up thinking anytime someone is asking of accountability of someone, it means they are being disrespectful. No, what we must continue to have is for people to continue to question, to scrutinize, like the campaign accounts that are out there. I'm like scrutinize as much as you can. If there are any anomalies, bring them out and say, okay, why is this not like that? We will explain to you. And that's the way it should be. It's not that, oh, I've put it there, oh, they shouldn't criticize somebody. No, everybody has to be criticized. This is public funds, and we must be responsible with public funds. Like I did say, I explained yesterday to some people, I said, look, our private money, for me, my personal money, I can use it the way I want to. I know I'm not going to be accountable to anybody, but the moment it's public, for even if it's 1 naira, we must ensure we judiciously use it, and we must account for it. And for us, the beauty of it, why it was so easy was that right from the beginning, the process was transparent. Every money had to be paid into the account. We refused to receive any money. I mean, there were people who felt, oh, hold this one, take this envelope, help us put it or use it. We can't do the account. We said, no, it has to be true. It has to be through the account. Yeah, we might have lost some money because some people might, at the end of the day, not have gone on to, put that money in there. But it made our work very easy for us to be accountable and transparent. And so every money went into the account, and every money that was coming out went directly to the people that it was meant to go to. So if it is the vendor, it went directly to the vendor. We didn't have third parties. We didn't have anybody collecting money. We didn't have anybody's money being paid to anybody's personal account. Although sometimes it made our work more difficult, especially when it came to like logistics. You had issues where, okay, we had to pay to the vendors for them to now help to get the materials down to every local government for people to get all of these materials, and then they're taken to all the villages as far as they could. It would have been easier if we had, okay, one person had collected that money, was using it, but we said no, we can't have monies going into anybody's private account. Everything had to be done directly there. And also something that we also did was that even Mr. Peter Obi himself, that he brought some money. It was the money that he brought in that he had any right to say what it was going to be used for. The money that was raised by the citizens, he didn't have the right. That was the way it was designed. And what we did was that we had, the procurement team, what needed to be done, they check it, went through bidding, went through different stages before the final materials are arrived at, and the vendors, and then they bring to the fundraising, the team itself, approve it, and we send it to the principal, which is Mr. Peter Obi. He also, approved it. So that had to be done. But the monies that he brought in, there were some that he could say, okay, this money should be paid there, here, in terms of, like, for example, polling unit agents for the different parties and all of that. But in spite of that, he had a process that he had to follow for any of his instructions to be, what's the word that is used now, to be adhered to, and actions taken upon it. He had to, there must be a written request from him making those demands, and apart from the written request, there had to be a verbal confirmation of that request, because we didn't want a situation whereby maybe like we are hearing forging, like they're saying the president's whatever, Buhari's signature was forged and all of that. We didn't want a situation whereby somebody will send in a request, maybe through we thinking he's the one, but he isn't the one. And moments when he didn't do any of this thing, nobody, did the request, worked on the request that he brought in. So all of these things were put in place, and we made sure that there was no one person who had control of starting something from the beginning and finishing it. So it made things pretty easy, honestly. We can easily do it in Nigeria. Where you have problem is when things are opaque, when they are not brought out in the light, when you now have certain people that they are the only ones working on something, other people who know about it. That's what brings the kind of problems we have in Nigeria. But the moment you make things, system work, you design a system, you follow that process, nobody is coming in to change the process in any way, then you will be able to easily have accountability. Just to quickly chip in something else. So there was someone whom I knew, we were working together on the campaign, who had come to me, they did the bidding process, his company couldn't go forward, that they dropped his company, and he came to me that, oh, please, I should help talk to the procurement. And I said, no, I can't do that. I mean, that's in Nigeria, that's what is happening in Nigeria, that it's not working, that we want to change. I did not have single contribution to the procurement. They had their team lead, as a Century Favor, did an amazing job with other Nigerians who worked together to ensure that the process was seamless, was transparent, and we could account for every kobo.
All right, I'll come back to you, but let's listen to the presidential candidate, Peter Obi, as he speaks on the campaign fund and why it is important to investigate every kobo.
I'm not involved in the party accounting. I'm not part of the party management. If you know how party function, the party is being run by elected executives of the party for National Working Committee to that, which are not signatory. Even the account campaign and everything, I'm not signatory to any.
I've muted.
I'm not signatory to any group.
Hello, everyone.
Everything is being managed. The one people
I can't even see. How is it going? I hope it's going well so far.
Because I know there will be a day like this. And I assure you, you will account for everything. That's why we are calling on every member of the public, local, international, and everything, to who have a lead to where he thinks these billions and millions were paid into, or given to somebody else. And I must say, thank you to Aisha, because what she said here is, about people who have come to me and said, oh, we went to Aisha to give her this money, said she doesn't want to take money. She said, I will always say to them, well, listen, pay for this for us. Pay for. People are anxious to put this for us more in kind.
All right, the Labour Party presidential candidates in the 2020 May presidential election, they're speaking on accountability. Yes, let's quickly let you go. Aisha Yusufu, our time is already fast spent. And what can you say of what he has just said? Let everyone who contributed to the billions and billions that we're hearing come out and tell us where they paid it to.
Absolutely, because we're hearing lots of figures. People saying that the campaign account, even the one that I managed, that billions of naira were put in, and we're wondering, where are these billions? We needed them for the campaign. But like he said, it's all about, he's calling on all support groups to come out and also account for the different monies that some of the there were a lot of support groups collected money, used money, and all of that. He did talk about the fact that many people donated in kind. That was true. And yes, what he said, a lot of time I didn't collect cash, and that's why I can stay here and say there is no Nigeria, dead or alive, born of man or woman, that will say that Aisha Yusufu collected a dime, a cent, or a kobo from any one of them for the Hello everyone. Yes, that's the interview. It's done. And then as soon as it was almost finished, somebody was just calling. I don't know why this phone is ringing. I put it on do not disturb. I don't know what's wrong with iPhone. I thought do not disturb means do not disturb. Calls are not supposed to come in. I don't get it. Maybe there's something I'm doing wrong. Yes, it's frozen. It's just so crazy. Yeah, so that was it. They were trying to ask and find out. I mean, yeah, like Mr. Peter B did say, honestly, there were a lot of people that actually one, he looked at me and said, I'm going to report you. I'm going to report you to Mr. Peter, because it was, no, that one was so funny. Honestly, that day we're sitting down waiting, to go on our campaign. And he comes, he greeted me and everything, was like, oh, take this envelope. And I'm like, no, I'm sorry, I don't collect money. It's my policy. I don't collect anything. So he actually dropped the envelope on the table, and then he dropped it, and then he walked. I picked the envelope. I followed him to his car, and I dropped it back. He had this, then he now was like, do you know that I'm embarrassing? I'm not sorry. I said, it's not embarrassment. I'm sorry, but I just told you it's my policy. I don't collect money, even like joke or whatever. I don't. Honestly, even as a girl, I grew up very poor. You understand? When I was in abuse area, I won't have money to buy tomatoes. I'll do kuli kuli and use it to do I don't collect money from men. Never. The only man I collected money from is the one I'm married to. And he's the only one I still collect money from. I rag my husband. If I'm needing to, baby, if you see me, if I even ask, by the time I'm asking, he's giving me whatever I need and everything. So I say I don't collect. For me, it's a policy. I don't. Even if it's joke, even if it's like this thing, drink or whatever, I say it's from there. Then the person will be doing anyhow. You won't be able to talk, because once upon a time he gave you a gift or something. So I remember he was going to report me. And some of them did report me to Mr. Peter B. They were like, that I don't collect. I'm like, I don't. That's it. But anyway, back to the main this thing. Like Mr. Peter B. did say, a lot of people did kind. People did things. People gave jets. Like that particular man that person that I was talking about, that I didn't collect that envelope, that I returned the envelope. He actually he gave us jet. I think it was like a 90-seater kind of plane that we used to do some of the travels that we did. Many people believed in this project. Honestly, many people believed in it. Nigerians believed in it, and for me, that's the part I want us to never forget, that we were able to come together in 7 months and win an election. They told us that we can't do campaign. They told us that we don't know anything about campaign, but we came in, and now we've seen that these politicians don't know anything other than rigging, other than violence, other than buying votes. They don't don't get sense for anything. You see that strategy, you see creativity, you see intelligence. It is we the people that have it, and we brought it on during this Obidati campaign, and it was really amazing. So no matter how bad you feel, don't give up. They want us to give up. They never give up. They failed many times and they still keep going there. Yes, this election was stolen from us. We'll keep coming back. We'll keep making it equal. No wahala. Share the court say they want to see every polling unit result sheet. Shey that's what they say they want, but no problem. The next time we will give them every polling unit result sheet. Every one of us, wherever we can, we'll do polling unit agents. Even me, the next election, I'll do polling unit agent. I will officially collect the polling unit result of my polling unit. We'll do polling unit agent. We will, if the ones in our villages, we will look for our cousins and everything that have integrity and tell them to do that polling unit agent for us. So that's it. So you keep going, you keep follow it. One thing we must never do is do anything out of the ambit of the. We will not behave like that. We will not use violence. We will not use rigging. We will not use vote buying. We will use persuasion. We will talk to people. We will tell them what we are going to do. And when Peter Obi gets into office by the grace of God, we will hold him accountable. It's as simple as that. There are no two ways about it. It's not rocket science. It's not too big a problem. It's just that let us understand that as citizens, we really deserve the right thing to be done in this country. Thank you so much, everyone. If you've not already subscribed, please go and subscribe. Like, share, like, go and subscribe. I'm trying to get to 100,000 subscribers. Anyway, I'm always this playful. I don't know, people think I'm serious. I'm not a serious person. I'm always like, okay. Oh, thank you so much, Bat. I thought this is what I'm doing. Choose a focus. I saw that for set it to reject calls when you switch that. Oh, okay. Maybe that's what I'm not doing. Because I actually put it to not, because I didn't want it to, if the call is coming, it freezes it. The other this thing that I bought modem, it's not been working. I paid for it since on the 6th. They've been trying to fix this for so long. It's not working. Internet in Nigeria, something else, and I use so much data. I'm always buying data. It's absolutely crazy. So thank you so much for joining me. Yeah, that was it. We keep on the conversation going. We will not give up on Nigeria. That's one thing I assure you. No matter what they throw at us, let's not give up. Let's keep going. Because if you are in your 20s now, you give up on Nigeria, I can assure you by the time you are in your 60s, you'll still be talking Nigeria matter. If you are in your 50s now, by the time you are 70, you'll still be talking Nigeria. So why don't we just do it now? Fix it. For me, one of the reasons why I support Mr. Peter Obi, because I see him somebody who cares, somebody who wants to get the work done, somebody who wants to do good for Nigeria. And if somebody like that gets into office, guess what? Me, I'll go and rest. He'll be doing the Jackie work. Me, I want somebody that will be working. Me, I'll just be sleeping and chilling and maybe doing my travel. I don't have to be really focusing on Nigeria issue and be like the one we have right now where there's nothing working in the country. Everything is upside down. Master strategies with no strategy. So for me, let's keep going. Let's not give up, please. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye God bless you all. Thank you. Well done. We did great things. I do go, Krista. I absolutely agree with you. We did great things. Let's never forget that. We did the unbelievable. Even up till now, they are still shocked. The politicians are still shocked. They are still afraid. They don't know what to do with obedience movement, citizens who supported Obi and all of that. So let's keep that going and let's never ever give up. Thank you so much. Bye, everyone.